Hello and welcome to the 15th episode of the WCGA podcast.
Yeah!
I am Danzer Dragoon. You can find me at Danzer Dragoon, also known as Dan Hall, but mostly Danzer Dragoon, because I'm just going to take my online persona, and that is me now. Today we've got Mr. Lang. Where can we find you, Lang?
Find me having a great caffeinated time on a sunny day in the Pacific Northwest. That's me at Skyfire Riser on Instagram and lurking in all sorts of Discord servers. I'm also trying to get back into Blue Sky. So find the old school Gunpla Skyfire over there, because Blue Sky seems to be just where all the hip kids are.
That's where the kids are going these days. And then we've got Ian with his blue balls from Gashapon, his blue Gashapon balls.
You can find me and my blue balls at Cantus_Prime on Instagram.
Nice. Well, we've got a great show for you today. If you're tuning in from Spotify or YouTube or the radio on FM 42069, you can find us there on FM radio stations nationwide and internationally too. Before we get started with our awesome show, we've got a new sponsor.
Hi, I'm Gary Dunkheimer. Come see me on my new website for dating. We don't swipe. We don't click, we just talk. Come join me, Gary Dunkheimer. It's funny, because you too could meet me and have a slam dunk. You know what a dunk is, right? In basketball? Dunkforall.com. Download the app and be a slam dunk couple.
We're in the dating services now, huh? Okay. Oh, Dan, you're muted.
He's swearing right now.
Is he? He's saying something inappropriate because we can't hear him.
I'm saying we take it wherever we can get it because podcasting is an expensive business. So we're just kind of open to whomever or whatever anybody's selling.
For the most part.
Within reason. If it originates under a bridge, we don't go there.
No trolls.
The Slam Dunker app is now up for download, so go check it out on your.
Hang on, they found out that was taken, so it's like Dunk Your Heart, Dunk You.
Oh,
heart.
Dunk Your Heart.
Dunk Your Heart.
Oh, Dunk You Heart.
Dunk You Heart.
Weird, interesting.
All right.
So what are we? Let's get right into the dirty laundry of the podcast. I'm back. Back in the saddle again.
First place. That's the
Went
real
to
question.
Texas, visited in-laws, had a heck of a darn tootin' time, and we went to SeaWorld. I swam with the dolphins. I should probably pull a picture up of that.
How was that actually? Like, how crazy is swimming with a dolphin?
It's really cool. So I'll make the long story short because this is a model podcast, guys. But
we got models of dolphins. It's all good.
You go into a pool, like their habitat on this beach thing, and you got a trainer right there with you, and they tell you stories about the dolphin. The dolphin does really cool tricks. The dolphin gets a buttload of treats constantly, and they look very entertained and happy to be doing it. But they come out of that water, dude. They like float up out of the water and just sit there and look right at you. It's crazy. And then you get to touch it and pet it and feed it, and
how does
then
it feel?
they show you how to. So they have skin. They don't have scales like a shark. It's all skin. So when you touch it, it feels like you're touching. It's kind of rubbery.
Okay. Blubbery.
It feels like a thick skin. Yeah. Yeah. The underside is so soft. It's like velvet almost. Their blubber side. And then the top is more like what I would imagine rubbing Batman's chest would be like.
Ah, yeah. Okay. Got it.
And then you get to hold on to the fins, and he takes you across the water. It was amazing. I've always wanted to do it.
What was the name of the one you got to ride?
Ruby.
Ruby.
She was a rescue from. Oh, I'm gonna botch this. she's a rescue from somewhere on the West Coast. She came up on shore. She got bit by a shark, so a chunk was taken out of her fin, her dorsal fin, and she kind of swam into a shallow area and then couldn't get out and got like sunburned really bad. And the park ranger found her, and the aquarium came in. She spent 2 weeks in the medical tank, rehabilitating and everything. And they've had her now for 10 years. She's 10 years old. She's kind of younger. But she was just beautiful, and they're so gentle. Like, I mean, they're obviously really well trained, but you can tell how freaking intelligent they are just by how they behave. It's crazy, man. So if you're ever in San Antonio and you want to swim with some dolphins, I would say go for it. Also, they have the stingray pool, and they're all debarbed, and they're cow nose. They're called cow nose stingrays. And you can reach in, and they come right up to you. They come out of the water, and they look at you, and then they flap their little fin at you, and you pet them, and they love getting scritches underneath their bellies. It was crazy, man. I loved it.
Very cool.
Went to some model stores. They've got some good stores with some cool, kit down there. So, yeah, it was a good trip. Happy to be back, though. I feel like I was gone for like 4 days, but 4 days in our club is like a year. I come back and I don't recognize like
so much
people.
Happens.
Yeah, I don't recognize people's builds and like what they bought, and I like being plugged in, and I felt like I was a fish out of water. So that's a really cool feeling to come back into the club and being like, dang, so much is happening. But I'm happy to be back. So,
welcome back.
Thank you. So, the dirty laundry. Let's get into it. Lang, what'd you snag last week?
I got a few little kind of unique things. First off, I'll go small to big. I tried getting it's called an FW figure. And of course, it's from the sweet and ever so benevolent Sugar Mama. This is a 00 Trans Am special FW kit. Yeah. They're not big. They're not. It's almost like a Converge and an HG had a baby. They're small, not a lot of posability whatsoever. But of course, if it's 00, I have to have it. I got a little Grimoire Converge right here. I got Dan was kind enough to snag a Sengoku Astray for me right here.
That's a cool kit. I love the backpack on it.
It's so unique, right?
Yeah.
And then kind of the biggest thing for me right now, I got a 3D printer, and I've been going ham, and mostly for my son, because I got shout out to Toy Maker 3D. You guys need to go check this guy out. Super cool designs and STL files for 3D printing, and I am working. This is gonna tie into one of my working on, but I'm gonna show it now anyways. Is a 3D printed, like fully articulated Mechagodzilla that I'm partway done with right now. Rah,
so cool.
Yes, he's blue because my son wanted blue, and I'm doing it. I would say mostly for him, but that's like half line. Look at this. It's like everything. I'm just going to have him be me for the pod because this is him on my shoulder. It's kind of huge. And it's been a lot of filament, but a lot of fun. And I'll talk more about that when we're working on. But that's what I have right now.
Okay. Ian, what'd you grab? You grab anything?
I can grab a couple things. I got from a local GameStop. I found the 2 new Gundam Wing Funko Pops. So I got the Wing Zero and the Death Scythe.
That's the new hotness.
Sadly, the Epion was not in the store. I couldn't find it. So I'll keep looking for Epion. Relapsed at Awajimaya. Got some more Gashapon.
Again?
Yeah.
Yep. Well,
is it a relapse if you're just doing it?
And is it a relapse if you're going with your significant other?
Yeah. Well, maybe it's enabled.
Yeah, that was enabled by
You're using again.
He is.
I'm using again.
You're using again.
So what
I got 2 new Haros.
That's so
little
cute.
green and the mustache one, kind of like the Turn A mustache.
Do the flaps open and close?
Yep, they open and close, and then there's you can take the hands out, the legs come out. I'll just rip his face off real quick so you can see.
The bottom?
Hold
that bottom up
again?
again?
That's a hole.
What?
He's
That's
got
a haro
bunghole.
Haro hole.
But you open the inside.
Oh wow!
You open the inside, and the arms and legs are stored within.
That's
And also
actually
there
really
would be
good.
There's an action base that stores in here too.
Oh my gosh!
So you get a whole deal for like 3 tokens in the Gashapon machine.
And tokens are $12 a piece, right?
$2 a token.
No. That's actually not bad. $6, you get a cool little haro that opens up like that. That's not bad.
Yeah.
If you're not aiming for something, Gashapon can be fun.
Right.
But where's the fun if you're not aiming for something?
Yeah.
With leftover tokens, I got a Mobile Suit Gundam Forte Gustav Karl.
That's a cool one.
Is that like a chase one? Because that's like a P Bandai color, right?
The high grade Gustav Karl
is like dark
in
gray.
These colors is from the Gieren's Greed video game. The normal retail.
Ian knows so much.
Gustav Karl's the gray one from Unicorn. From Sugar Mama, I got. Get the tape off here. This is the Gundam Converge Zanspine, which I hear is like an evil Victory Gundam.
Oh, that's rad. Did they make a kit of that?
No, I haven't seen one.
You wish. Need more Victory kits.
I got myself a copy of the 40th anniversary. I'm not sure it's called the Zoids Bible, but it's Bible to us.
It's legit.
Yeah,
it is.
I need to buy one
real quick. It is basically a picture book. Oh, I opened it to a good page. It's a picture book of a whole bunch of different Zoids that have come out in the past 40 years.
It's not really a bunch of
franchise.
Like all of them.
It is like all of them. Like
yeah.
Oh, I just opened it to a whole different page. But there's stuff. They basically have their own equivalents of Premium Bandai, where it's like a monochrome box, and even those are in here.
Yeah, it's so cool. I have the P Bandai Bible from 2024, I think, and it has every single P Bandai that's been made.
Really?
What?
Yeah, it's this guy right. Oh, here it is. Gunpla Catalog.
Did you get that from
2022.
Japan? Whoa.
Yeah. It's got it's the Premium Bandai one, so it's got every kit.
Well, dang.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Then I also...
Maybe I'll bring that to you soon. You can check it out.
Speaking of special Zoids, I did get the Takara Tomy Mall Limited Psycho Genospino.
Yeah.
The normal one the normal one's black and red. This one, which I built during our podcast or a meeting earlier, this one is blue and purple.
Oh man, that's so cool.
And
it looks so good.
It's got batteries in it already. Let's do a little bit of walking and chomping.
Look at the arms too. That's so cool.
But then activate a special gimmick.
And lights.
Awesome.
Mouth lights up, and it's got this wicked saw.
That's so cool, dude. I love
this thing.
Zoids Wilds kits. They're so fun.
There's like no other. I can't think of any mechanical mecha anything that would be more intimidating. Like, look, here's a reciprocating saw bigger than my body coming at you.
Right.
Wow. Yeah, it's terrifying.
It's funny.
All right, and then that's not the only Zoid I built.
Oh,
actually, we'll start small. Oh no, this is what we got. Never mind. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Okay. So I got a Genospino as well. I got the regular standard color version. Do you guys want to see these, or do I just talk about it?
Yeah.
A little bit of everything if they're within range.
Yeah, this is the incentive for people to watch this on YouTube or on Spotify.
Okay, so I got the Ganon toys. Ganon toys. I think Ian has this one, yeah?
Yeah, that's the one that has you open up the shell and the tank cannon pumps in and out.
Yeah, super cool. Very excited for this. I got it's all Zoids this time, guys.
Oh boy.
I got the Genospino.
We still do Gundam.
Red and gray one. Very excited for that.
All plow.
Yep. I got the Bazoodle. It's another kind of turtley thing.
Yeah, it's a retooling of the other turtle.
Yeah. And then I got the Stego Sage. Upside down. Here it is. Oh,
Uh-oh.
I want to see
lots
that
of
one
parts.
work.
Yeah, I'm excited. So I've been picking these up because they're not that expensive for what you get. You get a lot. And then they're so much fun to build on our Monday night streams. I can pump it out between like a big project and have a ton of fun with it. And I will stare at these things walking across my desk, like you guys know, for like 10 minutes, just going, "Oh, guys, look how cool it is! It's so freaking cool!" Totally nerding and dorking out over it. And then I also picked up.
So good to see him just snap.
I don't know if you saw this, Lang. But I got this stack of cups.
No, you didn't show it to me.
Yeah, I got this stack of cups. It's
Oh my
Gundam
gosh.
Cafe cups, and they're actually really nice.
Like
they're
hard
printed
plastic,
on,
kinda?
like they're like durable plastic.
Yeah. Dishwasher plastic. Yeah.
I haven't checked yet to see if they're dishwasher safe. I don't know,
Uh,
but fun. I'm gonna definitely use these for coffee and stuff, and they kind of stack together. You can, I don't know, make a mega cup, but drill a hole into it and just make a mega cup. That'd be kind of fun. But yeah, these are cool. I picked these up. They were cheap. I think it was like $14 for all these cups, and they all come in a set. It's got the Zeta, the new Gundam, the RX-78,
Okay.
Zaku 2, and Unicorn. So very fun, very cool. And then I bought and built this guy here. It's the Cannonball, yeah. This guy also has, it moves and does things. You can see the cannons are popping in and out, and he walks. And these big guns at the top as an add-on part set you can put on there, and it animates them like anti-aircraft guns with giant blades. And yeah, super fun. I'm having so much fun with these things.
Bonkers.
So that's what I picked up. What I'm working on, segue, is the Across VFOS from Across Zero. It's got a bunch of missile packs on it. So my plan is
that's an understatement.
Every single missile is going to be firing out of this thing, right? And to make it happen and illuminate it, because I like LEDs, is to use acrylic rods that I'm going to bend and warp, and then light from behind, because the acrylic rods pipe the light, and then you matte coat them so that it diffuses the light through it, and then put the missiles at the ends. And then I got this really neat little fog machine thing I'm going to put into a base so there's like smoke coming out everywhere. That's what I'm working on right now. That's going to be for the SCGMC themed build.
That's right.
For their competition down in Southern California, which we're going to go to this year.
Yep. We are coming for you.
Yeah. So that's what I'm working on. Ian, what are you working on?
I have, worked on that Genospino before we started. I completed my Zoids Blocks Double Arm Lizard. It is a combination of a lion called Leo Blaze and like a velociraptor called Unanlagia. But this is a special combo pack where they're both in white, so everything matches. And this is the intended build for it.
Interesting.
And then I completed my Zoids Holy Grail from when I was a kid.
Nice.
This is the Zoids Gojulus Giga.
It's so cool.
Oh my gosh. We are on a...
So this one's by Hasbro.
Yeah, well, it's a Takara Tomy mold. Licensed by Hasbro. It's Hasbro on the box.
Okay.
But this is vintage from 2002, I think the runners said. So around there.
Yeah.
But
vintage 2002. That's when I graduated high school.
I was already graduated, so it's like, thanks.
Uh-huh. I would always get these little catalogs whenever I'd get a Zoid. And Gojulus Giga was in here, and I was always, I'm just gonna drool on it.
Awesome,
and
dude.
I'd always have one of these little pamphlets in my pocket, wishing and looking at the Zoids, and now I can finally say I own one.
I freaking love that. And you were laying on the floor last night, blocking it across
I was
the floor,
laying
just
on
like
the
a
floor
kid.
playing with this thing. I'm not going to run it now because this thing gets real crazy out of hand when it walks, because its tail, as you can see, thrashes around back and forth.
Freaking love
it. It stomps around. The eyes light up. It roars. It's got a sound box in there, and then the head.
It's got sound effects.
The head picks up, moves around. The jaw opens, and then it has another mode where it stands more upwards like this. But I'll put a video in our Discord with it running in both modes. It's gonna be safer than trying to do it here on the desk.
Very fun.
That's so cool. I love the story too of like you always wanted that as a kid and now you've got one.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh, I still got the box back here behind me so you can see. If you're ever out in the wild, that's what it looks like.
Grah! I love that it's got a sound box too. Like, dude, what the heck?
You know, there was a few lines that were fully loaded and gave us way too much for what we deserved.
Yeah. Oh, and then there's even I have to find guns for it. I think I have another Zoid with guns for it, but little adapters so I can take off these dorsal spines and put these cannon mounts on the back instead to give it big old Gojulus cannons.
So good.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Lang, what are you working on?
I'll go back to that Mechagodzilla because I can't believe how big this thing is. So
this thing is so cool.
Yeah. So my son picked red and blue for the colors. This is the tail. It keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going. Kind of perspective.
Whoa.
Yeah, this is how big it is next to me. So it's huge. I've been working on that pretty consistently this week. Little pieces here and there while I'm figuring out my 3D printer. It's a lot of fun because with my son, there usually isn't a day when he said, Dad, or all my sons really, Dad, can we go to the store and get a new toy? And it's like, no. And of course, there's probably like a Sugar Mama box outside. It's like, you big hypocrite. But no, it's been fun because it's like, okay, we'll get this and it's going to be huge. And I'm hoping to teach him a lesson like, okay, you got to wait and do piece by piece by piece. So instead of asking me like, we want a new toy, he's been like watching the printer, counting it down. Okay, Dad, here's the next piece. Dad, let's do the legs next. Dad. And
fun.
It's kind of been fun. He's on it. He is so on it. So I've been doing that. I've also been I go through peaks and valleys of I'm doing 7 kits at once and then I'm not doing anything but snapping a few things. That's just me. Yeah. I have a handful I'm working on right now. I literally have to look at the notes to remind myself what I'm working on. I have an HG Zogok that I'm doing for a Fampla freebie. It's partway done, and then we'll be just giving it away. It's going to look like a very cute, fun, giant blade-wielding minion, and that's going to be fun. I have an HG Ario set that I mentioned last week that I'm going to try to go bonkers and put a Trans Am, a clear, and a regular Arios together somehow, some way. Our 30-minute missions kits, I have mine semi-figured out, but now it's just to assemble and start painting. And then last but not least, I finally decided to work on a GN Arms custom from 00. I've had a kit sitting around for years because when I started disassembling it, it was before I knew nub removal, and it's collected so much dust and gunk. It was kind of nasty. I think I've had it for at least, I dare say about 12 years, like close to. Like I've had it for a very long time. And I've been cleaning that up, and I have a really fun idea for a custom for that. So those are all the ones I'm working on right now. So I got I'm a busy boy.
You got your fingers in a lot of pies.
Yeah, I do. I love pie.
You're spinning a lot of plates.
Well, I love pie.
I love seeing it though. I love seeing you because you did that super complex build for the Seattle competition, the Psycho Riser, and you were like all in on that.
I was.
But this is more Lang. as far as like just going ham
A little
on like
spastic.
a bunch of stuff.
A little-
No, like I mean,
A
this
little bit,
this
in
is
a good way.
Yeah, I mean, this is how you work. This is how your brain is, and I love it. It's just very creative, constant. It's constant creativity.
Yeah.
So I love seeing you like just going for it with your shotgun approach. I love it.
Thank you. Ian, put away the catalog because you're making me jealous and pull up the news. While he's
It's
pulling that up.
time for the news.
No, news.
What do we got for news this week?
Bandai has shown off some photos of the high-grade Xylus that's coming out for a new manga.
Mm-hmm.
So we first saw this a few weeks back at the Shizuoka Hobby Show, but in a gray prototype. So this is our first colored sample of this. No, it was colored, but now we have more photos, better photos than just the show floor.
Yeah.
So this is supposed to come out in July for, I think, 2,790 yen. Or it's up for pre-order in July at least. I think it comes out later in the year, probably winter time. So I've seen. Go ahead.
Can I talk about the aesthetics of this thing, or we want to wait on that?
Do it.
It's hard to wrap my head on. It looks like a kit bash. It has kit bash aspects. It's got like spines on the back that are really interesting and evoke kind of a Godzilla look to me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I love the ribs on the head camera part. They're going to go back like a spine almost. There's all sorts of weird stuff going on with this kit.
This kit would normally be exactly what I want out of a kit. The aesthetic. Every time I look at this, I see double thing like those spines feel double O. That blaster feels like an H2 Magnum.
You see the fade in the color? That reminds me of those the GN cable parts on Exia.
Yep.
Where they're like reflective rainbow.
I wonder if it'll be the same material.
Doubt it, because those are flexible. That's pretty big and thick. So I think those are just
in the gun too.
Yeah.
Or is that a sticker? I wonder.
No,
I hope to God it's not.
The underside looks like a sticker.
It looks like
I'm gonna bet that's a sticker.
So if this feels like it's toned up to like Kit Bash 11. I want it toned down to a 9 or an 8, and I probably would love it. It's too much for me.
It's just a lot. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Like I don't know how you could
since we saw it at the show, I didn't care for it, and of course now that I'm looking at it more, it's kind of growing on me.
Fair enough.
That's how it always goes.
It feels like a masking nightmare if someone tries to paint that.
Yeah, being a high grade, a lot of it's like not parts separated and it's just all one big piece. Like I can see the fins. Oh, this is okay. So I like this.
Here's a de-armored. They didn't show before. This is like a de-armored state with all the gear off of it.
Oh, they're kind of going like 30-minute missions a little bit with all the peg holes and stuff.
Because they started a little bit of that with Witch of Mercury.
Right.
Yeah.
Standardizing the peg sizes and stuff.
Yeah, see, I agree. This looked good.
This is cool. I like it all, man. I love this design. 100% all in. Where's my master grade?
Of just the body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks great.
The Mohawk looks cool with that too, right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't. Okay,
this will be a fun one to customize and paint. And if you can pick and choose your armor pieces, you can ratchet that Kit Bash look up to the level you want. You know, kind of get what you want out of it.
If they had like 2 or 3 sets, even if they're a P Bandai of different silhouettes, you could give this one. I'd be down with that. That would be cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Comes with 6 beam sabers, or 6 beam saber hilts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder where all this going. Got to store somewhere.
Shove them in the peg holes.
In the peg holes. There's the full kit.
And the horror hole.
Yeah, beam saber for your horse. I'm curious about the manga on this too, because like, what's the story on this thing?
Do we know? I heard it's a post-apocalyptic scenario. I don't know what century it's supposed to be in.
I'm guessing it's brand not new. Universal Century.
Yeah, this feels very alternative.
I don't know. We'll find out more when that drops.
Yeah.
So that's all there is for news for new model kits or Gundam related.
Awesome. Well, before we get into the meat and potatoes of everything, I got a club member shout out I want to do really fast, and then some builds, some completed club builds. We joined as a club the Mid Valley modelers on they do a stream every other week, and they do they're mostly armor, like aircraft and tanks and battleships and stuff, but they've got a few members that are into Gunpla,
They're an
and they
IPMS
are
group.
really interested in Gunpla and like our side, quote unquote, of the hobby. And they've invited us so many times to come on to their, join their stream. So we joined it, and it was so much fun. Those guys are so knowledgeable, kind of like Ian with the Gundam stuff. They've got their own Ians over there that just know everything about all the cars and tanks and airplanes and stuff. But in particular, I was so, I don't know if this is the right word, but I was so freaking proud of Shockwave. Hopped in there and just like fit right in. He was talking about battleships and airplane variants, and he knew everything about everything. And I was just sitting there like, dude, we've got people in our club that know about this other stuff too. It was so cool, man. So big shout outs to him for hanging out and doing his thing in another club's atmosphere and fitting right in with it. So it was really cool to see that.
Even more reason he needs to compete and come hang out at the Jamboree this year. He'd fit right in.
Oh yeah, he would love it. Has he been to a show?
No, remember, because he was sick.
Okay.
For Seattle.
Yeah, man, he would love the comps because all the customs they do. And then he would know what they are. It's like walking around with him. I wouldn't be just looking at tanks. He'd be like, oh yeah, this is this and that. And then I also want to shout out you, Lang, and Shockwave again. You guys came over to my house and helped me put up a gazebo in my backyard, which was a exercise in friendship and endurance. So shout out to you guys for helping me out with that.
Now, when you say a gazebo, this is not your run-of-the-mill Walmart, Target. This was Costco's XXL, full legit. Like, why did we not get this contracted out size?
Yeah, looking back, I would have hired some guys to come out and do it. I think sometimes they do like installation services,
Yeah, that one
delivery and installation. So I should have done that.
Dan picked the only day, like this week in the Pacific Northwest, it was 70, 75, and then the day he picks, it's 87.
Those steel panels get hot.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Did you guys have any shout outs you want to do before I jump into builds?
Personally, it's just been a lot of fun hanging out. I think it's like there's like an unheard gong that we all hear when someone like logs in. Sure, it's your notifications, but someone logs in and everybody then all of a sudden logs in, and it's a very comforting thing to have. So shout out to everybody that's been hopping on as of late, in general, and the hangout.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, we pretty much have a constant hangout going on the Discord.
Yeah,
it's not just Monday nights anymore. It's like every night.
Always in there building or streaming.
And I've never been part of a community that's like that. It's so cool. Mm-hmm. It's so welcoming. So everybody in the club, like, you guys are all killing it, just being you, and it's. Yeah, kind of piggyback off of Lang. It's been super fun to see the growth and the community and fellowship happening there.
Right.
Builds this week. So Shockwave, speaking of Shockwave again, finally dropped pictures of his Shockwave YOLO Park model. And he dropped maybe like 50 pictures or something like that of like all the work in progresses. So definitely hop in the Discord and check it out. It's really cool. It's fun to see all the different, models and stuff.
Big boy
that he's got in there. I think I just opened a screen with just one picture. Hang on a second. How do I Do I have to
So I was
open these
looking
all
at that.
individually?
So-
Am I having technical difficulties now?
Lore-wise, this is Shockwave's first ever model kit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't start off with no high grade. He started off with this
Giant
$250, almost like building a perfect grade transformer.
Yeah, that's actually good, especially for size
That's
and
guts.
complexity on that one.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of almost like a Verka perfect grade too, because perfect grades have a lot of parts, but these things have like a little bit more.
A lot of joint stuff
than a standard perfect grade does. So yeah, there's a few shots here. Now we've got the Gustav from Ian. This is what kind of kit is this?
It's just another vintage Hasbro Zoid.
Yeah. Hop on the Discord. There's a video of this thing running. It's got a trailer. It's got 2 trailer attachments on it. Like repair platforms, launch platforms, I'm assuming. Here's a picture of that there. There's a little guy driving the thing. Super fun. I want one of these real bad. Because the video, it just shows it trucking along. It's all animated too. Like the plates and stuff move on it. And everything like that. Excuse me. Fairy Kitty did their first ever model kit. It was a 30-minute missions. What does that say back there? Smart transporter?
Transformable.
Yep.
Conquered the Diablo Taco Bell sauce. And they said they really enjoyed it. So they're probably going to build some more kits, which I'm excited to see. You always remember your first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then Erlangchen drops yet another masterpiece SD Gundam. Look at the paintwork on this thing. That's all paintwork, dude. Not all of it, but like it's a fully painted kit, but like the part separation on these things is not great.
Is to sit there and hand paint them.
Yeah, it's beautifully done.
The patience,
love the color work on it and everything.
Just the right size of the project, nothing too big.
Yeah, and then of course it's got Erlangchen's trademark. You know, do I have a picture of it?
There it is.
There it is. Magazine shoot. BB Sensei number 270. Does that mean he's done 270 of these things? Or is this number 270 of a line?
That's kit number 270 of that line.
Whew! I'm just like, man, we gotta give Erlangchen an intervention here, man.
No.
Burn up them too many SDs.
You can hop over to the server. He's been posting in a thread that we call Collection Cove of all of his stuff, though. And that's been fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Then we've got another one from Ian. This is the double arms.
One you
Yeah,
just
that's
showed
the
you.
double arms.
Double arms
Showed off
that you showed earlier. Yeah. This one, did it have a cockpit in the back too?
Oh
yeah,
my
it
gosh.
uses both cockpits from both Leo Billets and Logia.
Oh, that's so cool. What did you think of the build? Did you enjoy it?
Actually, I did not.
Oh.
The I had to use actual reference photos. The instructions for this thing are hot garbage because it's all.
Ew.
Do I have the? No, it's in a box. It's all sketch lines, and so basically they color separated. Parts from Leo Blaze were shaded red, and parts from Unulagi were blue. And when those go over top of each other, I don't know what I'm looking at. It's just like, hey, peg this in here, and you can see how many peg holes and connection points are on these block Zoids. So I don't know what the heck I'm pegging in at all. I had to take it apart several times and rebuild it, and then look at Google for reference photos and how to put it together.
Yeah.
I noticed with the Wilds builds that I've been doing lately, the instructions are not always accurate as far as the part representation. Like it'll show notches and things that are not on there, or they're in the wrong position. So it can be really confusing, especially on the Zero Grizzus that I did. That thing had a bunch of those types of errors, and it led to a lot of problems during the build. It's just, it requires some patience. You have to be patient with it and gentle with it, because there's gears and stuff. You don't want to break things.
I've been treating the instructions like looking at a wiring diagram where you have to sit there, because they'll put like an arrow, and then the arrow goes over, up, in to a peg or to a hole. You have to sit there and trace it with your finger.
Yes.
Make sure you're putting it in the right place, so you're slowly putting the parts together, just double checking the instructions.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not complex builds because or at least the Wilds ones aren't, because they come in baggies already pre-clipped and everything. There's no nub marks or anything, which is really nice. So they go together fast, but you just have to be aware of like what you're doing a little bit more than you would with like a high grade kit or something like that. This one is by Arbiter. This is, I don't remember. Is this a Freedom?
BBSD Freedom, I believe.
Yeah,
BSD Freedom. He did paint touch-up work on it, paint pen touch-up work, and it looks great. Turned out really nice. And then this is another one from Arbiter. This is his first kit he ever did, and he went back to it and did touch-ups. And you can go into the Discord and read about the touch-ups they did to it to kind of bring it up to like where their skill level is now. And I love that, like going back to an old kit. I've seen people do this before. Go back to an old kit, do the things like nub cleanup and sanding and painting, stuff like that, and getting it up to where you want to.
Bringing it out of a Tupperware prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's on top of prison. So what he's doing here is he's building looks like an IKEA shadow box. There's a like black IKEA shelving.
That's his display, if I remember right. He has a pretty nice setup.
I would recommend if Arbiter, if you listen to this, put like get some kind of black background. Maybe find a big sheet of black construction paper from an art store, or spray paint black cardboard and sleeve it behind that shelf.
That's a good idea.
Does wonders.
Kind of like he's got lighting up there. I need to do that with mine. Yeah. My shelves, and put LED lighting up on top.
The lighting looks great too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good idea with the black background, because that would make the kits pop a lot more, and that would be a really cheap addition. That's it for builds of the week.
Thank you all.
So good job, everybody. Kits are looking good. Builds looking good. Everyone's building. Keep on building. Sorry, excuse me.
Summer of builds.
So this week we got a few things we're going to talk about. One of the things, we had a question from, I think it was Erlangshan a while ago. He wanted to know about like behind the scenes of podcasting. I thought we could talk about that a little bit, kind of what our process is. So every week, and you guys just interject whenever you want. Every week we have a nice outline that Lang has made up for us with boxes, and it's got our club header on the top, and it's very professional. And we kind of just fill in the blanks for each person, like what we're working on, what we picked up, club shout outs, all that stuff. We are also constantly evolving it and changing it. So as we get more comfortable with podcasting, we're adding new categories and new things, suggestions from club members, things like that. Once we have all that, we work on that kind of throughout the week. Sometimes it's last minute. I go through and I've been compiling pictures for, the builds of the week. Ian's always getting all of the news together, and sometimes it's a huge task and sometimes it's a little smaller. Thank goodness. Otherwise he would go crazy. And Lang is always making sure that he's got the
sponsors. I'm our
Wait,
sales
those
guy.
Are you?
No, I get them. I reach
right.
out to folks.
You're finding the sponsors. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, broke my brain there.
Why would I?
Also, he is always on top of keeping track of the things that the club is getting ready for, and making sure that those are all up to date with dates and everything that we can talk about near the end of the podcast. And he's also, I'm just kind of speaking for you, you're also kind of one of the big contributors of the meat and potatoes things. Like, you're always getting the ball rolling as far as what we can talk about every week. So so Len gets all that going. We record in a web application called Riverside. It's a really powerful tool. There's a few different ones out there that are really good. After we record, it's all done in one take. We don't do multiple takes. So the editing is limited. However, there's some things recently that we've been adding, like audio normalization, audio levels, things like that. Audio's tough.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. Like everyone's got a different setup, different mic setup, and everyone comes through has different like voice, like energy levels, and trying to figure all that out's been a little difficult. But
the rooms that you're recording in, different rooms.
I don't like yelling.
Kids bursting into my office or into Lang's garage and like muting yourself really fast. But like I said, we do it all in one cut. So.
Yeah.
And I think the more we do this, the more comfortable we are. Like, I forget we're even recording most of the time. I feel like we're just hanging out, and the podcast is the result of that. So it kind of gives it when I listen to parts, I don't always listen to the entire podcast after we record it, but when I listen to parts of it, it sounds like this is what our streams are like on Monday nights, kind of. Obviously, it's toned down a little bit. Okay. Yeah. If you want to know more, join the Discord.
Yeah, behind the scenes for me, before we even brought this podcast out of our brain pans and stewing, I've been listening to many podcasts for many years, and it brings such a genuine feeling when you hear what people like and what they do and what they're into and things like that. And that was one of our goals, to give a part of us and help people to see this is what we do, this is what we want to do, and we keep that going. For me personally, like some inspirations, you shall have no podcast before us. No, I'm just kidding. Undergated are amazing guys through and through. Shout out to,
they got a great podcast.
Chloe's dad, Coop, and Gunpla Tester. Right. Those are the guys. They're an inspiration. Do we steal some of their stuff? Kinda, because you're good at it.
Format a little bit.
Yeah. I'll be perfectly
shout
honest.
outs to them. Like,
go give them a listen to. Me personally, I have one podcast that I'm close to, and I've been on a couple of times. It's called Geek Show. Go look them up. They have their own podcast, and then they have separate podcasts of video games, Star Trek stuff, or hobbying that I've been on. It goes back to the purpose is sharing. It's show and tell for adults. I mean, really, but it's also, okay, what else do you guys want to hear? Let's collaborate and do a couple of things, like having our guests on here. Silver, you and I bash heads because you're hilarious and you call me old. Holy crap, is she one of the coolest Twitch folks and podcast guests and knowledgeable on here? Her Langshin, amazing. Like, that's the whole purpose, just to share and grow together.
Yeah. Yeah, and Tim Tam was a guest too. We've had some really good guests, and it's been fun. And we're always, we're another behind the scenes thing is we're always like brainstorming guests, to have on the show. So that's an evolving process as well. So you just wait and see. You might have your number called up at some point.
And I remember when I was a guest on a couple of podcasts for my first time, you got to get ready to swim with sharks, depending on the podcast. And the folks that we've had putting up with we three bearded nuts is just shows how amazing they are. So props to them.
Yeah, I'll say, like, honestly, like, of the guests we've had so far, when we had Erlangshin on, that was the first time I'd ever talked with him, like, live, you know what I mean? So you never know what to expect, but as soon as we started the podcast and I kind of turned it over to him a little bit, it was like, whoa, he was so freaking professional. And like the way he formatted and talked about everything, you could tell he put a lot of thought into this thing before we did it. So and then, of course, Silver has like slideshows ready with like the evolution of Zoids on our Zoids cast that we did. And Tim Tam had all of his he had like picture or things pulled up, like showing us the 3D model of the minion grinder. Like, so the people that come on as guests have been very interesting and very professional and prepared. And that's so awesome. Something we don't ask, but they've just been doing it. So, that's been a fun part of it.
So if you ever go to start your own podcast, like make sure you're just doing it for the fun of it, because I think the market is so saturated of, oh my gosh, I mean, there's a Costco podcast, for crying out loud, people. Like, you could do a
podcast about everything. Yeah. There's not a lot of podcasts that I've found in this hobby space that are like, well, I'll say like the ones that I've listened to are good, but there's not that many of them. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
this particular part of the hobby doesn't feel that saturated. So we're kind of in a good space, I feel, for that. And again, we do this because we want to do it and we're having fun doing it. And that's a big part of like the, cause it takes a lot. It takes time. It takes planning. Everybody's got different life schedules. So yeah. And then, so after we record the episode, the hardest part of this whole process is waiting for the stinking thing to process and export. It takes like an hour.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, maybe it's a Riverside issue. I'm not sure. But after that, we just export it to our Spotify page and to the YouTube channel. And soon we're going to be promoting it on a certain
Instagram.
Social, which you can talk about in a little bit, Lang.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's kind of the behind the scenes. If you have more questions about the behind the scenes, let us know in the podcast channel on Discord and on Instagram, where you can find any of us and DM us. Next thing we wanted to talk about this week is top coats. Top coats. I brought it up earlier, and Ian was like, "Oh, you wanted to say something." He said it was interesting.
It is interesting because there's times where I don't know what kind of top coat I want to put on. And also at the same time, what's it going to look like once I put it on? Am I going to regret it? Am I going to love it?
Yeah. So, go ahead, Lang. I could see the brain smoking.
I think it's almost, when I first started learning about top coats, I didn't even know how vital they should be when I started using them. Like, when people just did scratch builds and I panel line and put on decals, and I thought that was it. But then I'm like, these are so much better. Like, how and why and everything. And they're like, oh yeah, I just did a quick top coat. I'm like, what's a top coat? And so for me, learning the little details about that have been complete game changers. Especially
it elevates the model kit from looking like plastic to looking like a finished product statue.
Yeah. And now I have to learn that there's going to be multiple layers of top coats. You do your panel lining, then you hit it with a clear coat.
A clear coat, and then you panel line.
And then clear coat, then panel line.
Yep.
And then you do your decals, and then put another coat on that. It's like, holy, 3 coats, 4 coats? What are we doing here?
It depends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on how deep you go into customizing, it can at first be a little bit like intimidating. But I'll say this for like anybody and I've talked to a lot of modelers that have been afraid to top coat their kits because they don't want to mess them up or something. If you're going to go rattle can top coating, Tamiya and Mr. Hobby make
incredibly great
top coats. However, top coats from rattle cans are very hot paints, and hot means they have a lot of accelerant in them. Okay. So if you're doing stuff like Shockwave in our club does a lot of paint pen work, right? And a lot of, what is it called? The Gundam marker panel lining.
Yeah.
Those are delicate alcohol-based paints. And then if you shoot it with a super hot top coat from a rattle can, it can affect the paint or panel line, make it bleed, make it react in strange, unexpected ways. So how you avoid that? Okay, what line?
Oh, I just have an experience with that. So you go ahead and finish that, and I'll share my experience.
How you avoid that is to remove the hotness of that paint is when you spray it, you do a super soft coat. Like you're just going, just getting a little bit of that paint to touch it. and then the heat from that accelerant isn't as aggressive. And then once you get a few little spritzes on there, let it dry for like 5 minutes, come back to it, then you can come in and give it a nice actual full top coat. But it's always, you want to be it's less is more when it comes to rattle cans. Always. You can always add more paint. You can't take the paint off easily. So less is more. What was your experience?
Learning that the hard way.
Yep.
I had a ungrade 1/100. I think it was my Virtue that I did, the ungraded one that was before the master grade, where I did acrylic paints and then did a rattle can top coat on top of it. And so the water base had already dried, and when I put the I can't remember if it was a lacquer base or I think it was a Mr. Hobby Super Flat or something. And I put it on it, and
all rattle can paints are lacquers.
Okay. So the lacquer on top of that, but I put it on a little too hot, and it almost did a slight but noticeable, if you just looked at the piece, crackle on it.
Yeah.
And so I learned that the hard way, and I had to redo a few bits, but yes, the spritz and then slight layers, because the crackle is the literal amount trying to grasp onto itself so much.
Right. Super aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So be careful with that.
So dust it and then come in like 5 minutes later. You don't have to wait till it's fully dry. Yeah. Also, you can put a matte coat on your kit and then come in later and decide, I want to do gloss, and then put a gloss on there. And you can do a gloss all over your kit and then decide later, I want to try matte, and then put matte on there. It will look what?
Can you do matte then gloss?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, you're just changing it from matte to shiny.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's, for me, that's such a debate of which one's better.
For sure.
When I was doing gloss or at least semi-gloss on most of my stuff, Dan was like, "You fool! Here's some matte stuff. Do it. And I'm just like, "You're crazy. Don't. I'm not going to do that. Do it." And I did do it, and Dan was not wrong. It does give a great aesthetic. It makes it two completely different kits, and they're both great.
Right.
And it's
an aesthetic choice. Yeah, exactly. I've found when it comes to top coats, curvy kits, like a lot of the Xeon suits have, in the UC, have curves and stuff, like the Sazabi and the Nightingale, the Zaku's. Those can look really cool with a satin or a gloss even. Also, metallics look really nice with gloss. They catch the light and refract it really well. But you can also put a matte coat over metallic paints, and it totally changes the metallics and makes it look really deep and rich as opposed to reflective and refractive. So don't be afraid to top coat your kits, folks. That's the bottom line. It's just people that are just learning, oh wow, panel lining changes everything. Top coat also elevates it again too. So have fun with it. Be excited about it when you do it, and don't be afraid. Yeah.
So now, I've seen a lot of. It usually happens in the wintertime when people are doing things outside. When you're spraying your kit and you get that real foggy look or water spotty look, how do we avoid that?
So that happens. That happens for a couple reasons. One, if you get that water foggy look, you put it on too thick, and it tried to dry. It dried quickly on the thick part where the paint kind of beat it up too much. So you kind of get it around edges and stuff.
Yep.
So again, it's less is more. Dusting. If you're really scared of it, then just do dust coatings until you get the sheen or finish that you want. And then my tip for if you're not going to spray inside in an airbrush booth is, even if it's in the wintertime, and I've done this a bunch of times, you go out there and your back porch, your back patio or whatever, out front in the street, wherever, you just go out there with your spray, give it your spritz, come right inside and let it dry in the bathroom with the fan on.
Fart fan. Turn on your fart fan.
Yep. And then just walk it back outside, spritz it, walk it right in. I mean, you're not sitting out there for long enough for it to affect the paint at all.
Okay.
If your bathroom is, if you have the fan on, that controls the humidity in there, and it sucks all the vapors out, so the paint's not going to sit on the kit being hyper aggressive for a long period of time. Airflow is kind of important. Air exchange is kind of important when it comes to letting the paint degas. So, yeah. But yeah, to avoid that fogging, it's the less is more thing again. You know, you're just misting the kit. If you end up with fogging, that can often be fixed if it's a matte coat by adding more paint, by just misting it more. Or if it's worst case scenario, get your like 1000 grit sandpaper out and just give it a little buff on that one part and then spritz it again. If it's just over bare plastic. Yeah. Lang, did you have any tips?
Yeah, when Ian brought up decals, make sure to put them on a smooth or gloss coat, something smooth. They're going to be able to flatten a lot better. And then please learn what you can, because if you're putting decals over different contours, knowing the differences in different setters and different decal things, like there's
mark softener,
retarders, setters, softeners, all sorts of stuff you can use, and a lot of it works if you do it appropriately. The moment you don't, and all of a sudden you have like a tore up decal that's set, it can be, it's hard to fix that, because it then can ruin the paint job right there. You got to fix the entire paint thing. Take your time when it comes with the coats, with the glosses, personally. One thing that I'm proud of, if you guys don't mind me sharing real quick, I was really torn between matte and gloss on the Turtles custom that I did right here. It was the first time I took a plunge into doing, I can zoom in right here. I did both gloss and matte, like on this Barbonado is what I call
on
them.
the frame parts, I see.
The inner frame is all gloss, and then the outer frame was all matte, and it gave such a great job that over here, the Donnie that I did, I hadn't done that, and I completely went back, took it apart, and did it like this later on, because it just looked so great like that, and I did it on all of mine. So that's, I'm proud, and also like if I have any inner frames, I kind of try to lean towards that a little bit. I was going to with my Psycho Riser, but I stuck with matte because I hadn't seen color shift under matte, and that gave a really good aesthetic that I wanted for the whole thing.
Nice. Yeah, and the comments about the decals and stuff, we should probably do that as a topic, maybe next week or something. We should talk about
tutorial. Come see, we might have a tutorial in our server.
I have a tutorial, a decal tutorial. It's on the YouTube channel.
There you go.
And in the club. But we can talk about that in the next podcast, about like Mark Setter, Mark Softer, all that stuff.
And we'll have Mike as a special guest, since he did how many? Over 400.
Yes. Mike would be a fun guest.
He would be a fun guest.
Should have him on here. Yeah. He's been building model kits a long time.
Yeah.
And he's got a backlog. We're going to get him on here. So yeah, long story short, top coat your kits, folks. Yep. It's fun. Join the club. Everybody's doing it. Next thing we had to talk about, drawing inspiration respectfully from fellow artists and modelers.
Yeah.
This is an interesting thing, interesting idea, thing to talk about. And one of my initial thought on this was, all art is, in I think most of the time. Oh wait, and I got to make a correction. Someone's gonna say, Dan, not all rattle cans are lacquers, and you're right. They're not all lacquers. However, in this hobby space, I'm pretty sure, and Craig, correct me if I'm wrong, the top coats that we use are lacquers. Right? Anyways, drawing inspo respectfully or whatever. All art, in my opinion, is kind of iterative. You draw inspiration from what you see visually with your eyes or in your mind. Something has tickled your brain in a certain way and inspired you to do a thing. I'll say in this hobby space, there are people that have inspired me 100% to do and build and create in the way that I do. And then I take that inspiration and I try always to try to put my own personal spin on it. Take bits and pieces from what other people are doing, watch their chipping tutorials, their weathering tutorials, pre-shading, panel lining tutorials.
Which Zoids to
that's
buy.
how you learn. Huh?
I said, which Zoids to buy.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, right off the top of my head, the person that inspired me to start doing LED work was Chris Amisu, with his Panzer Circus that he did. And if you don't know what that is, look up Chris Amisu on basically any platform, and he's got really cool videos and pictures of it and stuff.
Let me piggyback on that real quick with Chris Amisu, because I was going to share something with him that if anybody out there gets inspired by something and is afraid I can't copy their work, it's theirs. Don't. It's just a compliment. Chris Amisu had a really cool IBO HG Sentai custom that he did, Power Rangers, that were all different colors and really cool setups. I wanted to do a 00 Power Ranger customs, and the first thought that came to my head is somebody's already done it. And you're not going to do it exactly the same. And frankly, people are only complimented if you're just I like what you do. I want to join in with you. Yeah. When I did my turtles, I was partway through it, and there was a guy on Facebook. I think his name, I'm going to shout him out, Mark Lucio or Lugio. I think it's something like that. He did turtles out of the I think it was the Man Roadies. And he did a Krang out of an HGO. He did, what was the Shredder? I think the Shredder might have been not a Vidar, something else, maybe a Bale. Anyways, he did a bunch of customs, also IBO, and I did Barbatoses, and it wasn't I'm already doing this. It was purely oh, that's a fun idea. Oh, I love how you do this. Oh, and it's again, adult show and tell.
Yeah.
No one's
one
gonna
of my favorite things one of my favorite things, honestly, is shouting out the creator that inspired me to do a thing. Yeah. I love doing that because it directs people to also check their stuff out and be like, oh wow, that's inspiring, part of that, and that's part of the doing it respectfully thing. Stay humble, folks. Stay humble in the hobby. If you are, people pick up on it. If you're not, especially if you're at a model competition and all you do is talk about your build constantly, you're not interested in anybody else's work or what they're doing or the people that inspired you to do what you did or something like that. It's very simple.
It is very simple.
It's simple to be respectful about inspiration.
Ian, are you looking up inspiration right now?
No, I'm not looking up inspiration.
Ian, what about you? What do you find? Do you like the types that are, I think we've talked about being inspired by keeping it the same, or do you like going off the beaten path and getting more crazy when you're getting inspired for stuff and building?
I'm starting to, mainly in my head, just thinking about what I can do to grow and get off my, yeah, I'm still learning.
Your Gian that you did, because that wasn't the same color. You went off on a different color for your Gian that you were doing, right?
Yeah, it was inspired by another Gian model kit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Personally, I usually EA Gunpla was one of my big inspirations, and then there's a lot of builders out there that I look up to.
Yeah,
I could spend quite a bit of time on here. I won't do that here.
Have you guys ever heard of Frosted Snow on YouTube? She's
No.
so like when I first started painting kits, I learned how to pre-shade and how to like prime my kits all from her. She's got amazing tutorials, and her husband her husband does resin kits, and they're like phenomenal. And she does like I even learned how to do the marbling technique that you've seen on some kits. She has a really great tutorial on that. It makes it look so easy, and it is like you just have to jump into a lot of these things. You're like, I'm gonna try it. But she was a big inspiration for me too. So like you see something that a builder's doing, and it's just natural if you're a customizer to be like, I want to do that too, you know. And then you do it, and your take's going to be different, like Lang said, you know. So
one thing you guys know this, whenever I'm communicating with folks, I really overthink, am I being respectful or not? On Instagram, I've worked very hard on cultivating my following. I've gone through ups and downs thinking, what I should do on a social media profile. And again, peaks and valleys of maybe I should do this to get more followers. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do a giveaway. Maybe I should do this. I've had people ask me, what should I do to get my numbers up? First and foremost, don't worry about the numbers unless it's your like daily income, and then go somewhere else, because I'm not going to help. I can't help you because I don't know how to do that. For me, I'm respectful how do I put this? Sharing some cardinal rules. For example, if someone comes and follows me, I'll immediately come check your page. I'll come look what you got and see how active you are and what you're posting. And if I like it, I'll make comments and follow you back. If you follow me and you're coming from a private thing, personally, I always, first thing that comes to my head, if it's private, number one, there's a reason, or number two, they're underage and I'm not going to follow you back. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
And then just communicating, I always just try to give a compliment if something really, really catches my eye, and just, I don't try to start too much of a conversation, but I'm happy to. And people have reached out to me, which I genuinely appreciate, and try to get conversations going, because I know how hard it is to start a conversation completely with a stranger, because it doesn't have to deal with some sort of finsta that's trying to get me to do some sort of clickbait or check on my car's warranty. Like it takes some effort to put yourself out there. So
yeah.
And I've made good friends from that. Z and others. Lots of folks. Steve too. Oh, Steve. XXL new type. Go check him out. Lots of friends.
Yeah. That pretty much wraps it up, I think. Did we have any other things to cover with that particular topic?
I feel
good.
Like
we fleshed it out really well.
Sorry, I'm going to be admitted. I will stop being, for those of you that have a clicking audio, sorry, I was getting fidgety and I have a fidget that was clicking. Sorry, Dan.
That's what that was? Okay.
I needed something with my hands for a minute there while I was thinking. I'll stop.
Okay.
Did
you want to talk about your Instagram thing, Lang?
Oh, yeah.
Now's a good time to do
That'll be
it.
perfect. Speaking of being respectful on Instagram, so the Instagram for the West Coast Gunpla Alliance is up. Go ahead and look it up. If you see up on YouTube, the icon for the WCGA is the same icon. Look it up. There's nothing on there right now. However, the two things that we are putting on there are the podcast previews, so you can share it with others. If they're like, what's the WCGA podcast? And you could just show them the Instagram or show them our YouTube to get them there. We're also going to be doing spotlights. We have close to a dozen people already wanting to be shown and show and tell and show some of their stuff. And we're going to make it fun. The first thing that comes to my mind are what are they? Chain letters. That's right. From the late 90s, or as you youngins say the late 1900s, make me feel old. Chain letter fun questions, getting to know folks. We'll have questionnaires and show some of their builds as spotlights, both on Instagram and the server, and that will be coming out this next week. So stay tuned.
Awesome. And thank you, Lang, for setting that all up. That's a labor of love purely from Lang. So if there's anything
Instagram
wrong
master.
with it,
It's all Lang.
it's all Lang. Yeah.
Go to him.
Questions, concerns, direct them to Lang.
Nice.
That's really exciting. I'm excited that you're putting that together. So seriously, thank you for
That'll
that.
be fun.
Yeah. Should we get into our questions?
Let's go.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
I'll read them.
Yeah.
If a genie could grant you a real-life mobile suit or robot, what would it be? And here's like a part 2 for it. Just to make it more challenging, you are wishing as we three. So no new type, coordinator, or any of those psychic abilities. Okay. Keep that in mind.
I think that's because it would break our brains to operate some of these machines.
Right.
So you want to pick a really analog one.
If you
it
need
breaks
to
my
have
brain when my kids try
the
to teach me
Leia
how to play
Vignana.
Minecraft.
If you need to have a Leia Vignana, you cannot say you want Barbatos. Or maybe think about it.
I mean,
I
I already
don't
got mine.
All right, you go.
Zaku 2.
Oh,
All the way.
Zaku
All the
2.
freaking way, baby.
Okay.
Joystick, buttons, clicky clacks. Heck yeah. It's not too crazy. It's going to make me, vomit and throw up everywhere. I can clunk around and ram stuff with my shield. Got a big old machine gun and
afterwards.
mono eye that makes
Taking a
weird
tumble
noises.
down a hill in a Zaku.
Well, that's what dude, I would totally take a Zaku too.
I'm going to do something different here. I would like to, not a particular model, but I would like to have like a Star Wars droid. It's like a friend, partner, assistant.
You want a C-3PO, little buddy?
No, actually, you know what? No, scratch C-3PO. Screw that guy or that model. Give me like a fun droid. Like I've been watching Andor.
Oh yeah.
What's his name?
I
Emo.
forget his name too. Yeah.
Something like that.
I just saw first season. Is it the little red one? Are we talking about?
Yeah, a little red one.
Hey, we have a lot of 3D printers, so we just make you one and just
I know.
bring
Ooh,
you
that'd be
drinks.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let's go to sushi again. I'm gonna steal one of the robots.
Oh, I love that sushi place.
Those things are cute. They sing little music as they're going around.
So much fun. For
Tangent.
me,
Is that Lang? Is that Beaverton one have the robots?
oh, totally. It was so
Oh
great.
my gosh. I'm so excited. I'm so excited there's one close by now.
Everybody, shout out to Kura Sushi, Kura. They're all over the nation. They're so yummy. Find one near you. Maybe they'll be a sponsor for Realsies.
And and there's a thing where you can as you eat, you jump your plates into this little dispenser thing or whatever, disposal thing. And once you hit 15, a little gashapon ball rolls out, like a little prize.
It's fun.
And
It rotates too, different prizes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Right now it's Snoopy. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, so here's mine.
Yeah.
Dream mobile suit to pilot. I want the Dynamis. I just want a cockpit with a giant pretend VR gun in it that I can just sit there with.
Yeah.
Because Dan's comment about the clicky joysticks, I'm like, oh yeah, it's like what cockpit do you want in? It's the Dynamis. Just sit there and just okay, I'm just gonna play it's literally cockpit duck hunt. That's what it feels like.
Another suit that would be fun would be the Gunbuster because it's giant and it can have 2 pilots in it and split off into space vehicles too. But when there's a couple scenes in a couple animes where they show hands going across little boards and flipping switches, and there's a really good scene in that. It's like a second long of her going hitting buttons and stuff.
I got
really
a second
fun.
place, a Valkyrie from Macross.
Oh yeah, 100% Gerwalk, baby.
When I was a kid, I can still
Gerwalk
remember.
me, bro.
I think it's pressing G for Gearwalk or Guardian off the top of my head, and seeing the whole cockpit move into an upright mode.
It's super cool. That
Those
would
are my
be fun
answers.
too. And then you get to fly a jet too.
That too. Mm-hmm.
which is one of my dreams.
So this is the interesting thing that, along with the same question, which mobile suit, it's for us, what's the distinct weapon we would want for our mobile suit? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
What do we think? This is a little
I want
hard.
the nuclear bazooka from Stardust Memories.
That's the one you want, huh?
Yeah, dude. Of course.
Well,
I would go out into space and fire it at asteroids. Save the planet from the giant meteors coming.
Mm-hmm.
Blow up Pluto.
Well, I would rather not have my droid carry a deadly weapon. So probably just start tasing people. At least, no, R2-D2.
Oh my gosh, you can just see Ian on his phone, just like, find this target, go seek.
Roger, Roger.
I wouldn't have to text it. I'd just tell him, hey, would you go tase this dude?
Oh my goodness.
Go tase that, bro.
Uh-huh.
Hey, droid, go to this apartment that has the decimals up too high. Self-destruct.
If we had a...
There you go.
Droid, antagonize the neighbors.
Can I piggyback off this?
It has a little sledgehammer hitting the wall.
Can I add a question to it?
Yeah, go ahead.
After I answer mine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you didn't answer yet?
I didn't answer yet.
You already did. You want a big gun.
No, that's the cockpit.
Yeah, you want the Dynamis sniper?
Because this could be tied in with it. I want I want a scorpion kind of like get over here chain slash something.
You want the GIF thing.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Gatling, something like, something not Gatling. What am I thinking?
A grapple cable.
Grapple, thank you. A grapple, or like a spear, like a spearhead with veneers that just harpoons and like, come here. You're gonna get.
Yeah, you need to build a Strike Noir, because the Strike Noir has those.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. So I want something. Has those. I would want like a harpoon. Get over here and just like whip people. Like I want chains, stuff like that. Chains and whips.
You're very hands-on. You're a very handsy person.
I am.
Is he?
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
I mean, anytime I see him, I'm gonna remind him, like, hey, there's a thing called personal space, Lang. Can I piggyback off that question? Like, what sci-fi, like, handheld, human-sized weapon would you want? I'll go first because I think for me the most iconic thing would be a lightsaber.
Well, sure.
It would be extremely dangerous, but extremely cool to have. I'd be afraid though. Like I think there's a video, like a silly video of a lightsaber getting dropped into the blade down, and it like flies down into the middle of the earth and slices all the way through it, or something like that. But that would be fun.
In real life,
have an actual lightsaber. Do you guys have any thoughts right off the bat on that?
Oh man.
Or even like a Star Wars or Deckard's pistol from Blade Runner.
So you're thinking
That'd
any
really cool.
sci-fi IP item that we could have in real life weapon-wise?
Yeah, or like a Star Trek phaser. That would be really fun. Because then you can change the settings on it.
The Men in Black thing that wipes your memory.
Oh my gosh!
Neuralizer, right?
Neuralizer,
yeah.
I keep that on me at all times.
Just.
I didn't mean to say that.
I didn't send a little robot to blow up your house. Trink.
All right, now that that's off my chest.
And you can like change people's lives too. Yeah.
Baby, that wasn't me. Click.
Tell somebody what you really think.
I don't know. I'm on a kick of like melee weapons with rockets attached to them, like a Reinhardt hammer, or like the new mace that we've seen with the Red Gundam that has veneers and that.
Oh, like
ball and chain.
The SNA Lancelot right there.
I'm kind of feeling that, like a spear with like, just extra. Yep.
Yeah. Again, with the handsy in close stuff. I mean, I love you too, bro.
Yeah.
So on that note, you have to make a dessert without using a recipe. What dessert would you end up making?
Give me some context for
without
that.
a recipe?
Yeah. Hey, let's say, okay, here's the scenario. You're at a dinner party. The dessert that you had went bad, and it can't be served. And you've got 10 guests that you need to serve a dessert to. And you have no access to the internet because the power went out. And you have no recipes because you're a bachelor. What do you whip up from your kitchen?
I'm just going to run out. Yeah. I'm going to run outside.
I'll tell you what I would make, dude. It's Rice Krispie treats. It requires 3 things: marshmallows, Rice Krispies, and butter.
So confused because that's a recipe.
Well, he knows it. He doesn't need it. Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have to be specific.
Cookbook or something.
You just add it and goop it together until you get the consistency you want. Dump it into a tray and let it cool.
Okay.
So you guys are getting Rice Krispie treats.
Okay. I would just run outside.
Nice.
It's summertime in the Pacific Northwest. There's blackberries everywhere for those weeds. I love blackberries.
You're going to eat roadside blackberries?
There's worms in there, dude.
That's going to be the story of my.
It's been sprayed with all sorts of crap.
Roadside blackberry.
Dog piss.
Yeah. Dog pee pee, poopy, bird poopy pee.
Nom nom.
Road.
Just as a top. That's just a topping.
Free radicals. Diesel engines going. Popping them blackberries in your mouth, bro.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you are the way you are.
Nom nom.
How often do you do this, Lang?
Whenever I see him, you just gotta.
Okay, so you're at a dinner party. You're gonna hey everybody, hang on, I gotta go outside for a minute, and you're out there picking berries. You're gonna just bring blackberries into people. Gonna do anything fancy with it, or just give them a hunk of blackberries?
Give them all a cup of blackberries and whipped cream, and let's party. That's what I'm gonna say.
There ain't no party like a Lang party.
Apparently. I expect to see these blackberry dishes at the swap meet.
Done.
Okay.
How do you
what
want
about you, Ian? What would you... You got any...
I said cereal.
I said cereal or margarita. I don't know.
Ooh, margarita as a dessert. How do you make a dessert margarita?
Put whipped cream on it.
You just make one.
Is it just dessert? I don't know. I've never seen a person
drink
margarita like Ian.
There's a dessert.
We went to Naya's down in Eugene, and he got a bowl. It's a bowl of margarita. It's a bowl of margarita.
Almost $15
It was
margarita.
huge. It was like, okay, you go to a restaurant and you get pho, and it comes in a giant bowl. That was the size of the margarita that Ian drank. It's no wonder he slept on the way back.
So he was so cozy.
Content little boy. And then on the note of dessert, before you eat dessert, you eat a main course. We had another question. How do you like your eggs cooked?
Did we already ask this one time? I feel like we did. Did we not?
I don't remember.
Had a different question about eggs before.
Okay.
Your favorite egg dish or something. But let's say, here's the scenario. You're in your kitchen. You're having a dinner party. You have 10 guests. Your main course has gone bad. And all you have is eggs. And you can't talk to everybody and ask them how they want their eggs first, so you just default to how you like to make your eggs. How do you make your eggs, Lenko?
Well, anything gooey. It's got to be sunny side, and if I had a dinner party, I would make some really good, gooey egg sandwiches, because I actually really like making those.
No.
Shut up. That's my answer. Shut up.
You added bread.
Pass. No. Oh my gosh. How many?
You're going to pass on egg?
No. You want to go here? We'll go there.
We're all going to starve at this great dinner party. Really no entree, and all we get is blackberries.
Watch this. Will
roadside
shut 'em up.
Blackberries.
Really good sourdough, toasted just right, with a really gooey egg, with a good American cheddar, with kind of like a salsa stuff on it, and some avocado. There you go.
That's not the question.
Shut them up.
That's not the question.
Question or not, it's my answer.
Oh, Lang.
What would you do, Dan?
Boy. Oh, well, if it were me, I do like a really good fried egg. Fried both sides. I think that's called over easy, or Sunny's over easy. With the gooey center, salt and pepper. So it's just butter in the pan, crack the egg, and then here's an important thing. Okay, when you crack the egg on the pan, you get the initial spread, right, of egg. There's a center spread that doesn't go out as much either.
The yolk.
Okay. No, not the yolk, but there's another part of the white that doesn't spread out immediately. So you get the initial spread, but then there's the white, and then there's the yolk. Here's a pro tip. Take your spatula and just stick it into that white part and spread it out, and then the rest of the egg bleeds out. So you get your full egg. And it also helps with cooking, because if you have that thick white part and you flip it, you can still have some of that white not cooked. So you cut that, let it seep out into the pan everywhere, and then you flip it. Before you flip it, salt and pepper, okay? And then you flip it, and then you swipe it. You swipe it up, slap it, eat it. That's how you do it.
Good.
So that's how you answer the question, too, Lang, about egg, not egg sandwich. You're done. Ian?
I like my eggs runny, like you said, but over easy.
Nice.
Ian just wants eggs.
I like a runny yolk. I'm going to make some eggs after this.
I'm going to make some egg sandwiches.
But I want Cholula hot sauce on them eggs.
Oh, yeah.
I want hot sauce on them eggs.
Which one? There's 3 Cholulas.
There's
Did you know this?
No, the red one. I don't know.
Oh, my gosh. The green one is like a garlic.
Chili verde.
Yeah, it has like a garlicky flavor in there, too. There's my garlic in there. Oh, boy. Yeah. That's good, especially on scrambled eggs. The green one's especially good on scrambled.
I love eggs altogether. Hard-boiled eggs, deviled eggs. Just give me egg.
Yep.
I'll eat it. I really want Omer rice that has the real fluffy egg they lay over the rice, and they slit it down the middle, and it just pours over.
Yeah.
I want that so bad.
I can make that. I've made it a few times.
Ooh.
Yeah.
If only you'd come over to help with the gazebo.
Breakfast in bed at Dan's.
Oh, there you go.
In bed? That would require a sleepover. So let's do a sleepover.
Yay!
Ooh! I haven't done a sleepover in a long time.
Let's do it.
Also, speaking of toppings for eggs, have you guys ever had chili crisps?
Off the top of my head.
Chili
crisp?
Is it like the fried onion?
Yeah, and it comes in a jar. In a jar. You spoon some out, and then it's like fried red pepper, gives you onions, a whole bunch of stuff.
Chick-fil-A gives you some of those when you order a salad,
and it's crispy.
Yeah.
So you can just take it and put it right onto your egg, right? It's really good with scrambled eggs specifically. But if you take it while you're cooking your egg, okay, your egg is there, 2 eggs or 3 eggs. I usually do 3 eggs. And the side of the pan after you flip the eggs, in the side of your pan, you throw a spoon of chili crisp, and then let it simmer there for a minute, and then pull your egg off, and then the chili crisp right out and slap it on top of the egg. That's how you chili crisp. If you're just throwing it on the egg, that's fine. But if you put it in the pan, it crisps it up even more. And oh, mama,
we're all
hungry.
Up to heaven. We gotta have an after party food fest on this. Oh,
the WCGA egg party.
Yeah.
We also in the club. If you're not in the club, join the club. If you are in the club, you know that in the POV Life channel, we've got a lot of people sharing food.
It's just food porn.
Boy,
it's just food porn.
Boy,
it's good.
One of my favorite things is to see all the foods. And there's some people in the club that are real foodies. Again, we're going to talk about Langshan, for instance. Always dropping ribs. Yep. Silver with all the meat. Sheets of meat. Check it out.
Awesome. So join the club, and you'll be able to come to a lot of our future events that I'll talk about right here. Unless there's anything else you guys want to mention.
Nope.
Ian?
I'm all egged out.
No, okay. I think we're good here.
Okay. So first up, I've mentioned previously about the Plamo Weekender event coming up at the end of June. Not this month, because as we're recording this, it's still May. We've been saying that we've been on there that's a little presumptuous on my part. Apologies. That it hasn't been confirmed that we'll be on there, but whether we're on there or not, we're going to support that stream. So it's a really cool thing that they're doing. Go June 26th to the 29th, Plasma Weekender. It's for Alzheimer's research. It's amazing. And it's a lot of fun to watch and participate and to donate. So keep an eye out for that. Our 30-minute mission, West Coast Gunpla Alliance contest. Submissions are due by the 7th. We have a special guest. We have champion guests, or judges, I should say. I believe Dan, you're muted. Dan
7th of July?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Dan is a judge. Tim Tam is a judge, which are both accredited. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot. GBWC. Wow, I forgot all the acronyms. They'll be judging. We're also going to be appearing up in Kent, Washington, July 12th for Cybfest. We are having our Gundam 00 Trivia Night, 6 p.m. on the Discord on July 14th. And we have another event that we're going to be adding to this. More than likely, we are looking into another convention, July 19th. Mini-Con in McMinnville. So stay tuned. We need to get confirmation on that, and we will let you guys know next episode.
So if you're in those areas, come see us on those dates, and you can also go join the club and check it out. If you're in the club already, check out those dates, locations. Come see us. Get some free stickers. We got some awesome stickers.
Yep. Last two things. Our swap meet is confirmed August 9th in Woodburn. Check the Discord. That's going to be a lot of fun. It's an all-day thing with stupid opportunity to get kits at a good deal and swap kits that have been sitting in your backlog, or any Tupperwares. Like me, I have Tupperwares I bring of kits that are sitting in Tupperware jail that are super cheap and you probably just need for a kit bash. I did that a lot. In fact, that's what I'll show right here. I'll show what I got last time. And the last one, go ahead, Dan.
Go ahead. Oh, we're also going to have a slip and slide and a hot tub.
Nice. And last but not least, certainly not the least, is the Oregon Jamboree is the 20th of September. And that's going to be a big IPMS competition. Here's an example of what I got at the last swap meet. Check this out. It's a full MG Jinx I got for like $5.
That's rad. That's crazy.
It's actually really rad. I really like this kit, and I wanted it thinking I could use some bits, but it's complete, and it's awesome. I just want to have it and maybe do a full custom out of it. So that's an example of what you can get at these swap meets.
Yeah. So that's it for this week, folks. Thanks so much for listening. We got a sponsor to play us out. It's an oldie but a goodie.
Centipede Sundays. Come find us down at the Centipede Eat a Bunch buffet.
Gosh.
Yeah, all you can eat, Dan or Lang. Anytime, any place. $5.99 every third Sunday. Other than that, it's $10 a person. Come one, come all. The beef is free.
We must have gave them a really good deal for that sponsorship.
Oh, they give us a good deal on Sundays.
Well,
thanks for listening. Catch us next week as we discuss life's greatest joys and mysteries and the Genospino.